Hey everybody, so during this stream we're going to make sure this works. We're going to see. Alright, so far everything looks good. Awesome. Okay, so for this one we're going to be making a mimic, kind of like this barrel, but instead we're going to be making it out of a crate. Alright. So I've already modeled out the crate, and we're going to, so we got it on a basic base just to kind of get our size and placement. So we're going to go ahead and put in teeth and everything else with it. So find unique items at low prices with our exclusive brands. Ad real quick. Kind of annoying when that happens. Okay, there we go. So back to it. So when looking at this, it's got really basic geometry. I mean, we're only at 12,200 points. So I've already modeled all of this out. Right, made it out of the sideboards, crate top, crate sides, and just merged it together to get this. Now to make it to where it's going to be fleshy and be able to easily be worked with, we're going to Dynamesh it. So we'll click R to open up this, hit the customize, remesh with Dynamesh, and I already tested this out, so we're just going to remove those undos. I want a fair amount of geometry so that we can really manipulate some stuff. That, maybe just a little bit less, because we can always subdivide later. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Okay, so we're going to click on the gear again, hit accept, and now we're going to turn an angle, because instead of having the mouth on the front, I am going to actually put the mouth on the corner, just to kind of twist things up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start with that mouth, and we're going to choose where that seam would be. The mouth would open up. We're going to go about right here. And we're just going to mask that. And the other. So we don't want this messed with. Okay, that's kind of going wonky. I want to bring that down further. Maybe right there. Yeah, I like that. So now control, click off of the mask to blur it, invert it, and we're just blurring the edges of this mask. Okay. We'll invert the mask again by control, click off the mesh. Kind of look at it from this side. I do not like that. It's just a little bit off on the angle because I want it almost exactly on this corner because we're going to make it to where it has a beak. So I'm also going to hide the base. And we're going to control drag to there to make sure that we get everything, and then we're going to control alt drag to get that. Okay, I like that better. Then let's go ahead and do kind of the same thing. Control drag. Yeah, that'll give us our mouth. But I want this to come up. So we'll take our mask and drag it to about right there. Cool. Blur that. Then I hit W, drag this up, and then because I want this to be the front of it, going to turn this at a 45, and it doesn't need to be exact. If you know what, if we want to be exact, we're going to hit Alt, Shift, and then with this ring it'll move in 5-degree increments, and we can get a 45-degree angle. So we get that corner. Using this red one, we're going to bring it up, just like that. But I don't like it, so right now it's hinging from this spot. So if you're ever moving a mouth or knuckle or something, it does kind of a weird warping. Look at where your gizmo is at, and that will help determine where it is going to be manipulated from. So because I want this to be where this mouth opens up from, maybe a little bit lower, I'm going to hold Alt and pull it down. That is where I want that jaw hinge. So I'll take and pull that up, just like that, and I'm going to pull this out a little bit, and a little bit down. So again, this is going to be the fleshy bits of the crate, and I'm going to blend it with this, kind of show you. Okay, so I want that visible. So what's going to happen is this part where it's all fleshy is what's going to be manipulated, but I want to keep this crate bit, and I can either do that by keeping it masked, and then I just really have to be conscious of it, or I can blend the two together later on, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so we've got the mouth open to where we want. I'm going to start moving this in. We're going to use the move infinite depth. That one's a little tricky to say. So B, M, move infinite right there. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so now, again, we're going to make sure our camera's at like a 45. That way we get both sides at once, and we'll kind of change that as we go. Hold spacebar, change the draw size. And again, using the move infinite depth. See, I was too far to the side, so now it started pulling all that, and I don't want that. So keeping it at its angle right there and just kind of matching it. I'm gonna pull this in. There, that's more like it. Okay. So again, we're just making a hollow for the mouth right now. And with having these kind of warp, these boards, it's going to really help with where we pile on the flesh. Okay, so I got Sculptress activated because we're going to clear this out. Just kind of smooth it. There we go. And I want these to kind of be like beaks. So I'm going to use just the regular move right here. I'm going to drag that down a little bit and bring it up. Same thing with the bottom. Okay. Alright. That looks pretty good. So now what I can do, or now what I'm going to do, I should say, so I'm going to start adding in some teeth to start getting that placement of what it's going to look like, because I might even curl this up a little bit further. It depends on where the teeth kind of land. Okay, but I want to push this, the mouth bits back. So we're actually going to we'll use the standard BSW right there. And you can, again, if I wanted this to be symmetrical, I could turn the whole mesh, hit center, alt, and I can just turn this 45 degrees. Just going to show you this. So, it was at a cant right there, so we also want to hit this gear. That makes it to where it's globally up and down. Now I can use this, turn it 45. Okay, now I got my X symmetry, so I can manipulate both sides symmetrically. So if you want to do that, it's an easy way to take something that's kind of an angle and twist and make it that way. But again, we're right here, why not? Okay, but I'm going to turn off symmetry because I want these teeth to be really asymmetrical as I go. Okay, so this is all going to be like gums and the roof of the mouth and all that fun stuff. And I got to watch how thin this becomes. Otherwise it could just melt away and that'd be a problem. Okay. So now we're going to start adding in the teeth. We're just going to take a sphere to create one tooth, and then we'll just copy it down. So we'll take a sphere, just like that. And we're going to use the snake hook, so it'd be S. Let's see, H right there. And if you haven't seen from my previous videos, I have a lot of this stuff hotkeyed. I highly recommend you do that. It makes your workflow way faster. There we go. Okay, and I can take, and I'm going to copy this tooth around, but I'm also going to, after every tooth's in its place, I'm going to individualize. So some teeth will be a little longer, some will be a little scraggly. Keep in mind this is a miniature, so it's only going to be, you know, not that big. Kind of on the small side. Okay, so I want to split off the unmasked, so I'll go over here, split unmasked, and rename teeth. As you can see, I've got all this in its own folder. Makes things a lot easier if you're kind of doing any set modeling. At least I found it is. Cool. Okay, so now we'll take this tooth and W, hold control. We'll just start copying those. Okay, we're just getting our basic placement. But as I go, I want all these teeth to have they're slightly curved. So I'm all going back to that point. We're just going to slightly alter the angle to right there. Good. Control drag. Get it in its spot. Okay. And then I'm going to have another one right here. Now if I wanted these evenly placed, that's where symmetry can really come in handy, but I do not. There we go. I'm just going to continue. You know what, we'll make this one a little bit longer. So all that we want to do for that is change the orientation. Drag that to the top, and then, yeah, I like that. We're going to put that one about right there. Control click that. Shrink this one to make it stubby. Oh, a little too stubby though. Don't like that. You just kind of manipulate things. The transform tool in Gizmo is like your best friend with this. Alright, cool. Oh, but you know what? I'm going to add a little one back there. Pull that in a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we'll do a snaggle one up here after we add the eyes. It just depends on what it looks like and if we're liking the design. Okay, so now to make it easier on the bottom, I'm going to go over here and do polygroups, auto groups. Okay, so now with frame on, you can see that each of these is its own group. This is going to make it way easier to select and position things where we want to. Okay, so we'll click on this one.
Good news! You can afford that new sectional. You just have to know where to look. Right now, Ashley has their...
There we go. That's the frustrating part with the free to use background music, is it usually comes with a lot of ads. But anyway, so with everything unmasked, take, we'll center it, Control drag, and that duplicates everything. Flip it around. Kind of adjust the angle a little bit, and then we can place the teeth. So that quickly, we got some teeth blocked in, and we can start manipulating these around so it doesn't look like it's just mirrored and copied. Okay. All that takes is, again, click on auto groups, control click on this one. It's not even in the mouth. So we'll drag that in. You know what, I kind of like how this one's sticking out. Might do that with a couple of these ones down here. That's a big thing I found with doing certain creatures that you aren't trying to do one for one. Because if you're doing like a Kraken, you got some leeway with it, but there's certain things that you need to add in, right? When you're doing an ooze monster or like these mimics, you know, I can go nuts with whatever because it's my interpretation. There's just, you know, certain identifiable things that you need to have. Such as, you know, it's a carnivorous creature, so it needs sharp teeth. And then it needs to typically look like another object, since mimics rarely are seen in their natural form. So, in this tooth, I actually want to shrink, so we'll drag that there. And we're going to shrink this one down. And we're going to put one here. And one here that's even smaller. Now I want to keep in mind, as I've said in previous videos, how is this going to be painted? If I just completely fill with teeth, that is going to be a pain to paint. And it might look cool, but few people would have a desire, I know I wouldn't, unless I'm feeling particularly ambitious, to paint all these small little teeth and stuff. You know, I'm going to make a tooth right there, a snaggled tooth. So we'll take the same one that we already have selected, control click drag, flip it over, get it oriented the way we want. Put it right there. Okay, we're just going to look at it from each, look at it from every spot. And that way we can get a good placement. Sweet. So yeah, I like where those teeth are at. Now let's go ahead and add some eyes. And eyes are going to be simple. We're just going to take, and again, B, insert primitive. We'll just take this sphere, select the crate, and we'll click and drag. And then once again, come over to subtool, split unmasked, rename eyes, because I'm going to do more than one. But you can do any amount you want. You can put one right here. I've seen some mimics, some fan-made mimics where they got the eyes right here in the mouth. Very interesting design, in my opinion. Not what I'm looking for. And take this, control, divide it a couple times, and just for kicks, we'll choose one of our brushes, MRGB. Change the material to, I like to use this eyeball material that I downloaded. If you don't have that, I used to use, where is it? It's a plastic material down here. Oh, Skin Shade 4. Okay, it's a really shiny material, works really, really well. Oh, Toad Plastic, that's the one. I knew it had plastic in it. It's been a long time since I used it, but it makes it a really good shine. Just to get a different material reference for teeth and for eyes. Again, I have this one that I really enjoy. So we'll select that. color. Come on. Fill object. Okay, so now the eyes are gonna have that, and we might as well do it with the teeth too over here. Okay. And we'll go back to our startup. So that just gives a different material idea for separating things, seeing how things are gonna look. Again, with the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and I want this to be able to see from either side. But I like the idea of the asymmetry, so I'll place one eye here. And don't worry how so right now it is not in the depth I want as far as everything around it. So I'm going to take this, and because it's a flesh thing, I'm going to build up this flesh around the eye to where it makes a good eye socket. But I want the eyes placed where they're going to be. So Control and skip. I really hope these ads don't make it a problem for uploading. That would be annoying. Alright, so because it's multiple subdivisions that we don't need, delete lower. I'm just going to drag in place. I want this eye to be a little bit smaller. Maybe we'll have it sticking out just a little bit. Okay, and on this side, copy it over. For kicks, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to make it a big eye, and it's kind of going to be sitting on top. But I actually want another one right there. It's a little bit smaller. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So now we got our multiple eyes in place in our teeth. At this point, we just need to make it look how we want it to look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the crate. So Alt click, isolate it, or solo mode. Then I'm going to actually turn symmetry on just for speed. I'm going to mask out this mouth. Oh, don't even. And ZBrush might be crashing. Hopefully not. We'll see if it responds. Alright. So unfortunately, we haven't saved, so we'll see what quick save has for us. If not, get to do it again. Okay, so open ZBrush. Okay. Alright, it looks like we were able to recover stuff. Hallelujah. So first thing we're going to do is save. Let's see. Okay. So luckily we didn't really lose anything. Very luckily. So back to the plan is we're going to mask this out. There we go. Okay. That's that. Okay, and with the teeth selected, we're going to start building up these gums. I want to blur this. Okay, and I'm also going to, kind of like a T-Rex or something, I'm going to have these big flesh flaps that come down right here. So with the standard brush, hold Alt, kind of carve those in. And I want these to be opaque. So we're going to turn on transparency so we can look through them. Just start sculpting and building that up. So you can use standard. I also like to use inflate. So BI, inflate right there. Okay. I'm just stick them standard since it's going to be kind of faster to alternate through. So we'll build up the gums around some of these. Again, we're going to make this a beak. So, good. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this whole hinge after we finish this and widen it a little bit so it's a little bit easier to paint or bring this down. One or the other.
It pays for itself with $100 in annual bonus rewards, free shipping every day, and more. Join Scorecard Plus.
There we go.
A sectional from
I'm just
Mercy
making
Williams
this
will zhuzh up your home.
kind of fleshy bit in
So
the
will the
in the
perfect
mouth.
rug, coffee table, and accent chair. Get it all here, except for the dog.
Yeah. Okay. And yes, I realized that their ad just probably went by, but you know what? Pick your battles. Okay, now this is where, so we're going to switch to dam standard and we're going to start carving in some bits to define them. So B, D, S right there. Okay, so this is going to be the hinge point, the corner of the map. Then honestly, on the print, we want them there. Okay. Want to have this. Going to switch to standard brush. Build that up. Okay, and we are going to add a tongue, so I want to make this little notch. That's where the tongue's going to sit. Just like it's the back of the throat. Okay. And I like to look from the side just to be a little bit mindful. Am I going into this? And just going to carve that down a little bit more. Awesome. Okay, that's looking good. So just kind of indicate these gums a little bit more. Clear the mask just a little bit. Or unmask things a little bit. There we go. And just kind of build up these sections. Okay. There we go. Awesome. All right. So that's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to show you how to add in the tongue, and then from that point, it's just like I did with this mouth, all right? As far as like the eye sections, come around it. Again, we got tons of geometry, and we can subdivide if we have to, or use Sculptris Pro. And you're just going to build up those volumes around the eyes. so that you got a good eye socket. Okay. Also, it's going to help for you have to have some level of believability with some of these, otherwise the brain just breaks. Our mind just have a hard time processing when it just doesn't quite fit. So you do want to change your view to make sure these eyelids, even if they look like they're going good, even if they look like they're well this way, you want to make sure that they are coming under. It's just like our eyelids, they go around a sphere. So we want to create the same thing. And a brush that is really nice for this, I've mentioned before, is this smooth directional. That's why I have it saved to my main brushes. If you don't, you can open up the spotlight menu, go into your brushes, smooth over here, open this file, and you have smooth perpendicular or smooth directional. I like smooth directional a lot. Close that. That's going to make it to where if I'm pulling the brush this way, it's going to smooth in that direction and it'll go with it. So like these edges won't get smooth drastically, whereas if I have regular smooth, they will be. Okay, it just helps. All right. Okay, so now this mouth bit though is pushing into this teeth, or into this tooth. Proper English a little bit. So what I'll be doing off camera as well is pushing that back. But I digress. Alright, so now we're going to add a tongue real quick. So we'll turn off symmetry, and we're going to again use a sphere. You can really use either of these, even a cube if you want. I just find the sphere to be the easiest to manipulate when I'm making something that needs to be more organic. So I'll squish that down, turn it, and stretch it out. And then, just like we have, split. Okay. It's kind of a weird word, tongue, isn't it? Okay, and we'll get this in position. Okay, what I'm going to be making also for this tongue is I want one. Wrong thing. Is this one that's going to look like this? Okay, so it's going to have some taste buds, but it's also going to be spikes on it, and it's going to be kind of a thicker tongue. Okay, but you do whatever it is that kind of speaks to you, because this is your creation. So now I'm just going to do the move. Where is it? Just move. Start blocking in the shape. So I want this back to be a little bit thicker. I'm going to turn this into a point. Go ahead and do that. And then, because this is getting kind of strange, go ahead and go to Dynamesh. And because we're going to be manipulating this a lot, I like to use the Dynamesh under geometry rather than with the crate, where once we got our Dynamesh, that was pretty much it. We weren't going to need to continually go back and forth with Dynamesh, especially with Sculptor's Pro. But because we're going to be manipulating the shape of this, we really want to make sure that we have Dynamesh active, and then it can continually alter it as we're going. Okay. Also want to thicken this just for printability. as I've said previously, if you are planning on making something for printing, make sure that you're keeping that in mind as you go. Okay. So just like that, we got our tongue, and you can add your eyes. So I had symmetry on when I did these eyelids. I'm gonna have to alter that because I do not like it. And then one of the last things I'll do off screen is I am going to smooth this so it does look like a natural flesh alteration. Same with this to make it look, again, just more natural and not quite so rigid. Okay, so just simply doing stuff like that. Okay. Alright, so that is how you make kind of a basic mimic, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So thanks for joining. If you have any questions, add them to a comment, and get out there and create something. Have fun.